All right, welcome to Two Bros and a Rojo. Back for episode 2. I'm Steve Rukstalis, joined here by Kevin Reilly and Steve Reilly. Today we're going to dive into everything: fantasy football, NFL, college football, whatever we deem necessary. How you guys doing today?
Doing good. Thanks so much for the intro, Steve. I'm a little bit displaced right now. I'm actually at my friend's house. I thought I was going to have to go into work because my internet is out. Thankfully, I was able to come over here and do this. So I'm going to be flying pretty blind today, not going to lie.
I'm actually at one of my 2 properties right now because I'm a big baller with multiple properties. I'm actually just at the 1-1, and I'm just burning my data over here. Kevin's, got his Wi-Fi. I don't give a crap about my data. Burn it.
So you joined us poor people by buying a house.
That I did.
Congratulations, man. Now you get to deal with constant problems. It's wonderful.
Mm-hmm. Yes, it started off great. I've already had to buy a new air conditioner and water heater, and that was thousands and thousands of dollars spent already. Only 4 days in.
So also, it's not just my Wi-Fi that's out. Like the whole internet, like can't even connect to the tower. Like there's nothing. So I have to come get someone else's internet that's actually working. That's not ATT Uverse or whatever it is.
Oh, you just ratted them out.
Oh, I mean, the silent company shouldn't be named, who I also have the same service provider on my phone, and they suck.
Never kill a sponsor before we get one, Kev. God.
No longer going mainstream. It's official. All right, let's jump into the podcast today. I think there's only one way to start this podcast. There's really only one way. NASCAR, right? That's what everybody is waiting for. And there's only one thing we get to talk about because nobody knows what we're talking about currently. But over the weekend, there was a NASCAR driver. His name's Connor Zilic. So he won the NASCAR Xfinity race, and he was celebrating. And the way he was celebrating is, you get out of the car. He opens up the window. I guess it's a netting that's there. He gets out, puts his one leg up on top of the roof. They start celebrating, throwing water. He says he slips, catches his foot on that netting, falls down, and breaks his collarbone, knocks himself out cold. Did you guys see that? And what was your thoughts on it?
Yes, I did. This was probably the best video of NASCAR I've seen ever. And if they just turned the sport into all the drivers falling out of the car and breaking their collarbones, I would finally start watching NASCAR.
So interestingly, I always wonder this. It can't be that much more aerodynamic. So why don't they have doors? Or why don't they have a better way of getting out of the car?
I don't know that it has to do with aerodynamics per se. I think it probably makes it lighter, honestly. The frame is probably lighter. There's less hinges, and I'm just guessing here. I truly have no idea. But they don't have to worry about locks or windows or any of that stuff. It's just one solid piece.
I think it helps them turn left better.
Do you watch any motorsports at all? F1, anything like that?
I did back in the was a few years ago when we used them to select our draft order. Other than that, no.
How about you, Kevin?
I see a lot of traffic on my way to work and back home from work every day. So, it is what it is. Sometimes I travel to Orlando or sometimes I travel anywhere and there's plenty of traffic. I can watch traffic whenever I feel like it. So why would I put it on my television?
This dude's a fan.
He is a favorite driver and everything.
With that said, it's actually incredibly challenging to do. And so no disrespect in all ways. It's just not really my thing. There's no way in hell I could ever go out there and even drive half the speed of those guys and not just wreck myself.
With no AC.
Yeah, like it's actually incredibly amazing, but just not my thing, honestly. And the best part of NASCAR to me has always been the wrecks. So I kind of, to parlay what Mensch was saying, I guess I don't know.
That'd be me.
Yeah, you guys have been. Anyways, we'll figure it out. The wrecks are the best part. So if everyone was crashing, whether they're on foot or in car, it's more exciting.
So going over to what Steve was saying, we're coming up on our draft time. So this week we actually have a draft that's about to start. But I know Steve and I had a conversation about how to pick draft orders. We're trying to figure out what we should do for our draft coming up. So let's discuss this. There's different ways that we could do this. Like I know that people do like picking names out of a hat. They use a random like online generator. I've even known people that did Texas Hold'em tournaments. I've read like Wonderlic tests, which I think would actually be a pretty good one. We have a friend that did a cameo from a celebrity that auto picked where we were. 40-yard dash. I've seen punt, pass, kick, cornhole, things like that. How should we do our draft order? Any ideas?
Well, the past couple of years, we've had this weird game where you roll dice and advance helmets. It's kind of hard to explain. We always do that on the day of the draft. It's kind of basically just a dice game, which is perfect because it's very random. We actually used to go to the dog track before they moved that out of Florida, which, whatever. It is what it is. It was fun, but I get it. Dogs might not have the best conditions, and well, that's all right. I mean, there's always the option of picking one of the golf tournaments coming up and assigning people randomly. What is it, the FedEx Cup coming up?
Yeah, so this week is the BMW. The FedEx Championship is next week.
I believe I've used the BMW in the past, which what I do is I just put in the names of the golfers, and then I put in the names of all the people in our fantasy league, and then it just randomly assigns each person a golfer. And then whatever order they finish in that tournament is how we would. Well, in our league, it's not how you finish. It'd be you get to choose where you get to pick. So, say you get your golfer finishes first in the tournament, you get your first choice. So you don't have to select first overall. You could be 6th overall or 10th overall. That's how we decided to do our league because we find that to be a little more fun.
I think that's a good idea. Yeah. Kevin, what do you think?
It's hard to replicate the experience of the dog track, and it is what it is because it's not going to happen again. But that was just such a fun experience that we did, and it was truly double blind, random, whatever. I did, RIP to the dog track experience, randomization. Last year, for the draft order that we do, the redraft stuff, it's been the helmet thing, and for our dynasty league, it was different. We had Easter eggs and had the kids do it blindly, and that was kind of fun too. But I liked a lot of the ideas you mentioned, but the issue I have with that is some of it requires having everyone together. And so, like, I'm not going to do a Texas Hold'em tournament with like 3 people. I mean, I guess you could do it online or something too, but and plus we have like a shark. Clay is like a professional card player now. I'm not gonna play against him and give him that opportunity to just snipe us with draft pick every year. So it's like true advantage for him. But yeah, I don't mind. I mean, I'm gonna be watching a tournament anyway. It's probably the most exciting thing, And Scheffler had some comments about interviewing about it. They were asking him questions. I don't know if you saw this. They were asking him questions about the Ryder Cup, and he's like, I don't want to answer questions about the Ryder Cup. Like, I'm trying to win a golf tournament. If you want to ask me about this week, we'll talk about this week, but I'm not talking about the Ryder Cup. So, like, hats off to Scotty for well, come on, let's keep it like relevant here.
Yeah. So, I mean, we could just do the golf tournament, but Ginger here had another idea, but it's kind of the same issue we keep running into with, like what you said, with everybody either being there or participating. But I mean, it's a fun idea. But Steve, if Ginger, if you want to explain that, you can.
All right. So I think we should do a pick'em. And what I mean by a pick'em is we set up for week 0 and week 1 of college football. And there's enough. And by the way, I've already gone through this, so I already know that we could do 15 games. And there's enough that we can do games on next Saturday, that we can do the following Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, up to the 3:30 games. And then we'll have a tiebreaker based off that last 3:30 game, which I think is Alabama, Florida State. And whoever has the most picks, obviously correct. And if there's a tie, then we have the tiebreaker, gets to choose who will be number 1, and they could choose their position. And we could do this on like a CBS app. We could do this on like even an ESPN app. So everybody could just jump on and just pick whenever they can. And even if they were to miss, let's say, next week's Saturday games, it locks based off of the start of the game. So they could still get their picks in for later if they missed out on that.
It would automatically rank point. It's like assigns a point system, I'm assuming. And,
nope.
And no, it doesn't.
No, okay. It's just you get 1. If you're right, you get 1. If you're wrong, you get 0.
And that's why he's doing 15 games, and then that's why you would have.
We'll do it against the spread, so it makes it even more challenging.
So okay, so you have to pick I was gonna say, like, if you're just picking winners, then there's still a chance out of 12 guys that you may have a couple ties in there, so you need some type of differentiator is what I was getting
Well,
at.
you can make a tiebreaker, and the tiebreaker will be total points of, as I said, that Alabama-Florida State game.
I'm talking about, like, 7th place, right? You get 2 guys that say, you know what I mean? That's where if it can get a little bit confusing, I think. I know that's who cares, 7th place, but, you may have a chance to pick the 3rd pick or the 9th pick, and so that would actually matter depending on how it pans out.
Well, that's where that final score would just come in as a tiebreaker. If you have 3 people tied, whoever was closest to that score would win. That's kind of the idea.
Yeah,
Okay.
exactly. Yeah, I think that's a great idea.
I'm down with it if we can get everybody to do it. Hopefully, you losers of the future Country Creek and other D-Bags League are listening. I mean, because I clearly am about to take it home this year. But if you are, chime in and see if you're okay with that. If you're not, maybe we can come up with something else. But I think this is a fun way to do it. And I would be down as long as everybody does it. Patty, everybody in the league has to do it. And if you don't, then you know what? You get picked last, Patty. So anybody else who doesn't want to do it, you'll just default to last place, Patty.
I kept hearing some subtle cues in there, but I'm not really sure it got picked up. We'll see.
Hey, if
We'll
if they
see.
don't like that idea, then they need to come up with a better idea and just send it to us. And obviously, they can get in contact with you. So let's go that route. If you don't like the idea, send a better idea, and then we'll discuss it on here and tell you why it's a wrong idea.
I mean, let's be real. The person I'm calling out definitely isn't going to listen to this, so it doesn't matter. But I know I'm gonna have to send a mass group text to tell everybody this idea anyway, and then I'm sure I'm gonna hear some complaints from somebody. Nobody's mentioning names, but all I have to say is if we get a majority vote that want to do this, I think that's what we should do.
That works
All
for
right.
me. Yeah.
Okay. Sounds cool. Something new.
Perfect.
I like it.
Settles that. We're moving on.
Moving on. So yeah, so our first draft, or at least for me, I don't know about you guys, but our first draft is going to be, obviously we had already had a draft, but that was our dynasty league. But we have Tim's dynasty league. That draft starts, I think, in just over a day, right? Starts on Saturday. We're doing this on a Thursday. It's 6 rounds. It's 4 hours per pick. So the question I have is, do you guys prefer the long drafts, or do you like the drafts that are done in a day?
I think it depends on the format. I actually do like the long drafts for our dynasty leagues. Anything else can eat a dick.
I actually really do like the long format for Dynasty, like Steve was saying, because it gives you time to make trades and it gives you some time maybe even to do a little research before you make a pick if you're kind of between a couple guys. Maybe some news came out that because they're rookies and so it's not always that well publicized, especially as you get a little bit deeper. We always do these snake drafts, but preferentially, I think the most fun way to do a draft is the auction drafts, but they take longer and people don't really like them as much as you do. I feel like it's not as nicely matted in front of you, as easy to draft when you do auction drafts. So I don't know. I wish we'd do that, but
It's weird because every person, okay, most people who I show the auction draft to, I think as long as they're experienced fantasy players, I think that's the caveat, love the auction draft and they prefer it over a snake draft. But I think if somebody just doesn't want to pay attention as much and just wants the rankings in front of them and doesn't want to do any research, they prefer the standard format of just the snake draft. So I think maybe that's why most of that league doesn't want to do it. But I do love the auction draft format. The only thing is it does take a little longer. But I mean, what else are you going to do with your time with when you set up a draft? That's what you're doing. You want to go draft. That's my point. But I don't know. You gotta go with what the league wants. So I will just keep it snake draft if that's what they would like.
Maybe you want to do a podcast during a draft. Can't do that during an auction draft.
It's a good point.
But I do prefer the auction draft. I would like to actually do like a regular league where it's like a non-dynasty, non-keeper league where it's like 5 to 10 minutes per pick, just so you can do some trades. But it would have to be a league that I know people would trade in.
Mhm.
Otherwise, it's pointless.
Yeah, that's a good point, because our dynasty league this year, the first and second rounds were awesome, dude. I was at work and I could not focus at work at all. I was just trying to text between so many different people. I'm like, hold on, I might have another deal for you. And like, man, I was like, they were 4-hour picks, but it felt like everything was crammed in, like so, like jam-packed action, which is funny to say about only us nerds who like dynasty football would say that. But dude, it was like one of the most fun drafts I ever had. It was this year's rookie draft for us. I had so much fun during that first round.
So the only thing that I did not like about that was after the first 2, maybe 3 rounds, I would like to reduce the pick time because most people stop caring. Not everyone. I would say most people. There's usually about 4 people that actually care about, the 7th round picks. Michael Riley. Dude, I love trading with Mike. He's so much fun because he's always trying to get the wheel and deal and get a. He's like the last pick in the draft, has no value, and he's trying to trade it for a 2027 7th rounder.
Hey, that Michael he's like the fertilizer of our league, man. He makes it grow. I love Mike. He made he's made this dynasty league so fun, man. Like, what's really annoying though is like I'm seeing him making all these trades. I'm like, shit, I need to go do something now. And I'm like, stop, Mike. Just calm down for a second.
And for those that don't know, a dynasty league is you already have your team. You always have your team. So what you're drafting is in essence just rookies. So a 7th round rookie pick is, to be honest, mostly pointless.
Yeah, if you're listening though, and you don't know, like dynasty, the initial draft is a pool of every player that's in the league, including rookies for that season. And then every subsequent year, the new draft that you do is only rookies and free agents too.
And you keep all your players, and then you have to find people to cut to make room for your rookie picks. And typically a normal rookie draft is 3 rounds. But since we included IDP, individual defensive players, in our league, we decided we wanted to make it a few extra rounds. I think we might need to cut it down to 5 rounds because 7 seems a little too much. And if we do that, I'm going to have to find a way to compensate the people who already traded their 6th and 7th rounds away. And I have a few ideas that I'm coming up with. And we might make that happen. So just a heads up, if you are in the Dynasty League and listening, we're considering eliminating the 6th and 7th round next year and in the future because I like the long draft, but it took us like a week and a half to finish that thing. And that's actually short. Some people let it go for like 2 months or something like that. But for us, we're just like, screw this, just end it already.
So going into the draft, do you guys have like a main draft strategy that you always have and then you kind of alter based off of the rules of the league, or do you not plan anything? Do you go in blind like Taco from the league, which by the way is a very fantastic show? And since we're doing fantasy, if you haven't seen the league, you must see the league.
Correct.
So do you guys have a strategy that you guys utilize across all fantasy styles or modalities, or do you what do you do?
I don't do a research for draft position, or maybe for my draft position if I know it, right? I will say I'm more of a fan of trying to let players or let the draft happen and just kind of go with what the draft's giving me instead of trying to force it. I've done that many times in the past, reached on players that maybe I could have waited 2 rounds on. But honestly, there's times where you just really want to get a player, and instead of saying, oh, maybe the draft grade according to Yahoo ADP, I could wait till next round, and then someone jumps up and snipes him in front of you and you get mad because you could have got him. Just, let the draft. I like to let the draft come to me. I don't force it. I don't think too much about my build unless I'm real heavy on one position at some point, but I try to get the best player that I think is the best player personally.
I think Kev said it best. I like the quote from Bruce Lee, stay water. That way you kind of just let the draft come to you. If you don't know that quote, stay water means water fills any shape of whatever object you put it in.
So you guys don't go into it maybe saying, all right, so it looks like we have a better opportunity to get more points out of wide receivers this year. Let's go in looking for wide receivers and then try to see what's the best wide receiver you can get at that point. Or maybe at that point, like if your draft ranking, you're looking at it, it's like, I should go running back here. Because there are times that I'll go into a league where I'll just be like, I'm just drafting running back no matter what. And as long as I stick to it, I'll do that and then use that to trade later.
I think it depends on the league settings, which I will say that since everybody's going into fantasy drafts coming up. Before you start your draft, make sure you read the league settings. That is the most important part of any draft. I know people in the league that I seem to reference way too many times, our friend Ron, his league, he has some very strange settings in his league. And every year I know the rules, and yet I still go into those settings and read them again because I don't know if he's changed them or not. But I do always have to remind myself of those settings because I'm like, oh yeah, I forgot. That's how that's scored. And then once you figure that out, then maybe you can build a general idea of how to draft in that. But I still don't like coming up with like a concrete plan. I kind of go with the flow, especially in that league. You guys make it way too easy to draft in that league. Like, I can't believe some of the players I get, and I can't wait to see what I get this year because, oh my gosh, it's too easy. It's like fish in a barrel in that league.
I'm not almost guaranteeing nobody from that league listened to this podcast, but I hope they do now.
I know. That's why I'm confident I can shit on all of them. They are the worst drafters I've ever seen in my life. It's so bad.
Was this the draft that I forget, is this an auction draft or is this a snake draft?
Snake.
I just remember the one draft that you did an auction draft, and you got like every top running back that year.
That was Michael's league back when he was doing his league on Yahoo before. That was the Dynasty League before we started that was like Dynasty League -5 years.
I got you.
I hate Yahoo as a draft website.
Yeah, dang.
Yeah,
Can't stand it.
I'm with you.
Yeah, so anybody out there, go to Sleeper. It's so much better. Do you guys keep the same name across all your leagues, or you change them up, like your team name?
Talk to Baller McTits up here.
I always try to change my name, but I have kept my one name in our Dynasty League just because it's hilarious and it's kind of a long-term inside joke, and I just can't get over it. And the fact that when we did our primary draft and I entered the draft, I think it was close to Thanksgiving or whatever, Tim Miller, one of our league mates, was eating dinner with his dad, and then he was trying to show his dad how the auction draft works, and it was my turn to pick, and Dong on Titties came up to pick, and he was just like, how do you explain that to your dad? That's the guy's name. And so
for anybody who doesn't know what Dong on Titties is, feel free to Google that and then watch the video. It is hilarious, and it's a great video just to enjoy, especially with your father.
It's a Saturday Night Live skit, and it's called Last Text. It's hilarious.
Correct. Last Text. I think Dong on Titties is wrong too.
You keep the same name across all the other leagues, Steve?
No, I have a different team name for every league. As you know, in Ron's league, I change mine every year. I was Draft Lube last year, and then the year before that was what was it, Gigawatt Overload? Yeah, I come up with different names. I find I always seem to come up with a name when I'm at the draft. That's why it's fun to get together with everybody and we're having fun. And then I think one year for our Country Creek League, Jordan gave me my team name because he came up with Mildew and Cum because I said I'd sleep with an ice pack in my pillow. He said, "Oh, what's that smell like? Mildew and cum?" And I'm like, "That's the perfect team name. Thank you, Jordan."
Is there what's the absolute worst fantasy football team name that you've ever seen? Any pop to mind?
Tim, comprehend the taxi?
Yeah, there's been a few. I mean, there's some unoriginal ones in Ron's league, the one that says just the football team, not even giving it up. And then you can tell when nobody, like on the Yahoo league, like when somebody's not even trying, it's what their team plus fantastic team, like Betty's fantastic team or baller team.
Yeah, I think when you don't change it, that's the worst. You have to change it to something.
I think the default name is probably the worst of all of them because it's just showing that you're not even creative. You're not even giving enough effort to even make a team name. Like, do I really think you're going to trade with me or make transactions or anything like that? So that's That's the worry of that, at least.
You're hating on Kevin's neat team here?
You've had better. You've definitely had better, Baller McTits.
You should make that your
Kevin Baller McTits Reilly.
It sounds like a team name this year. Baller McTits.
I think that is his team name.
We'll see. We'll see.
All right. So speaking of horrible team names, the Dallas Cowboys, they lost 31-21 to the Rams in their first preseason game of the year. But I'm not sure if you saw this video that really surfaced about CeeDee Lamb. So
I did.
You did. That's good. He didn't play this past weekend, but he stepped onto the white paint that's on the sideline while celebrating a deep throw. I think it was Joe Milton who was throwing to Jonathan Mingo. I think that's what it was. By the way, it was an incomplete pass, which makes it even better that he was doing it. But he was celebrating, kind of putting his hand up, kind of going on to the white paint, and then he got run over by the side judge, which is awesome. It was an incomplete pass, and I think there was a defensive pass interference, which would have gained them 51 yards, but because of his idiocy, that was just a replay of downs. So good job, CeeDee. My question to that is, will the Cowboys make the playoffs this year?
quite the parlay into that.
Playoffs? It's the Cowboys, so no.
Yeah, but the Cowboys can win 12 games, go into the playoffs and lose, which happens a lot. Or they could just...
Yeah, well, they have 2 free wins in the Giants, so that's right. But I don't know, the rest of that division's pretty tough. You guys, Commanders, they beat themselves more than any of the teams in that league. I mean, in that division beat.
But they have the highest paid quarterback.
That's a good point. Man, that totally makes sense.
I'm going to answer your question with a question. Is the owner still Jerry Jones? Then no, they will not.
I don't know. I have to look at their schedule. Maybe before I ask this question, I probably should have looked at that just to see if they're playing any out of division tough teams. I actually don't know.
I think they're more like, I think they could sneak in as a wild card since there's so many, since it's 7 now. They're kind of like the Steelers of the NFC. They're going to be good enough to make the playoffs and then just get bounced right away. I think maybe it's something like that.
I call that Allen Iverson disease. As a Sixers fan, when we drafted Allen Iverson, he was so good that he can get us to the playoffs every year, but he wasn't great enough to win us a championship. So we never got a high draft pick to draft somebody good enough to go with him so we can win a championship.
That's like professional Reilly good.
So did you guys see Shedeur Sanders this past weekend? He played his first preseason game. He was 14-23 for 138 yards and 2 touchdowns. It was actually the most watched preseason game on the NFL Network in 10 years. It drew 2.237 million viewers. Isn't that crazy?
Give the man the MVP now. It's already over. Just don't even bother anymore. He knows everything. He's got the cheat codes. He's going to ball out. Oh, wait, he's on the Browns. Never mind.
Well, Pickett's injured, and I believe most of the quarterbacks on that team are injured.
So you say that. Actually, I read an article today on the Score about top veterans that are on the chopping block, and Pickett's on that list. I didn't even realize it, but they have so many quarterbacks.
Yeah, they got Dylan Gabriel's there.
Yeah. They have 6. Yeah.
To answer your question though about Shedeur, I mean, the guy wasn't even breaking a sweat out there. Didn't you see that? He told you.
So, are you guys haters? Do you want to see him fail?
I don't want to see him fail. I just think there's so much hype, and I think when he's gonna be a lot like Trey Lance. I think maybe better than Trey Lance, actually. It's if he's gonna get the opportunity. I don't know. Maybe I'm happy to be proven wrong, to be honest with you. I think he has some talent. I think he is his own worst enemy, and I think you could really look at the whole pre-draft process. The reason he fell in the draft, the dude's already been bankrupted. I don't know. There's something about him that just rubs me wrong. I don't know. What do you guys think?
I will say the dude's naturally talented. Yeah. It's obvious. Look who his father is. Mm-hmm. This guy, Deion Sanders might have been one of the most gifted NFL athletes ever. The dude ran a 40 faster than I could. He ran it backwards faster than I could run one forward, which just blows my mind. He ran it faster than most people can run it forward. So, I mean, the athleticism, no doubt. Shador, really good. The only thing is, I mean, we can see it with Kyler Murray. You have to put in the time to learn the playbook, to study film, do everything that you can to be as good as possible. This is why I hate Tom Brady, but that guy, he was dedicated. He put in the time. He did all that. Shador, I just don't think he will. I think when Call of Duty comes out, he and Kyler are going to be playing together.
That was always big for Kyler. I think there was a time where they said that Kyler never looked at his iPad. That he didn't do any studying. He was just playing video games the whole time. Johnny Manzielling it out there.
Manzielling it, yeah.
God, Manziel. Dude, just think of all the failed Cleveland quarterbacks. I'm a Raiders fan, and I feel sorry for Cleveland quarterbacks. Like, that's how bad their quarterback situation has been. It's crazy.
It's funny. One of the things we talked about is doing drafts. So we draft our own whatever. Last week we did movies. We should do draft your favorite failure as a Browns quarterback.
Oh,
if you want to do that, I'm fine with that. We could make that. Yeah, we got plenty to choose from. I'll tell you that.
That's actually quite interesting. I'd have to pull up the list to read them all again, but that's kind of fun.
Just name a quarterback. You probably
just like the worst in a future episode, like just the worst, the biggest busts or whatever, and you could pick even a category if you wanted to.
Yeah, we could definitely do that at some point.
Yeah, we'll do that in the future, but yeah, that's interesting.
I will say you compared him to Trey Lance. Trey Lance was the 3rd overall pick. At least he can't be bad because he was a 5th round pick.
That's the best part, though. The Browns were able, I mean, it's the Browns again, but they're able to at least temper expectations. They didn't spend high draft capital on him, and it's almost like no one wanted to. The thing is, everyone was super hyped up on Anthony Richardson, and I still can't get over why anyone would draft that guy who cannot throw the ball down 10 yards down the field without overthrowing his receiver by about 15 yards high and throwing pick sixes all the time when he was at UF. Like, literally went to games and watched this dude. He just can't play football, but he's still getting forced in there because of max draft capital was used on this guy because he could do a backflip standing.
Not to mention he's Mr. Glass now too. Like, he's injured again. Like, the guy cannot go 3 games without getting injured. Or, I mean, it's tough for me to sit back and critique him because, I'm not playing against these monster athletes in the NFL. I'm just going to go out and say I would get completely annihilated if I was out there. But the dude is a specimen. He's built. Like, how is he getting hurt all the time? Like, what is he, like 6'6", 250 or something ridiculous? How can he not stay healthy?
He can't lose that battle to Daniel Jones. He just can't.
He's gonna.
There's no way.
That was the thing, though. Like, they thought because of how athletic he was that he'd be able to withstand it, like Cam Newton. I mean, whatever your thoughts are about Cam Newton, that dude took an absolute beating in his NFL career, and they did not protect quarterbacks at all like they do now. When he was there, he was treated like a running back. Like, they just said, oh, it's Cam. He did not get the same treatment as Brady did. He didn't get the same treatment as Rodgers or any of those other pocket passers. He was never treated the same. It was crazy.
I mean, that was an argument Michael Vick had too, that he felt like he wasn't. But I felt like Michael Vick got a lot of calls when he was running around for his life trying to throw the ball away.
It's because he was Cam Newton was a beast.
Cam Newton, I mean, he knows how to steal laptops. He's very good at that.
and forge essays. We know, plagiarize essays.
Either way, baby.
That's how you get to Auburn.
Hey, you had to go to JUCO first.
War Eagle.
He wasn't. I forget where he was supposed to go, but then last minute chose Auburn. I want to say it was like Mississippi State or something like that. It doesn't matter.
They probably paid the best at the time.
Well, that was the whole thing. Remember, his dad took money, and so he came out saying that his son knew nothing about it. Cam knew nothing about it, and so they let him go. I mean, they never suspended him when he was with Auburn.
Shit.
Yeah. It's crazy. Despite Shador, despite his play that he had this past week, he's dealing with an oblique injury. So he's probably not going to play against the Eagles this weekend.
I saw that.
That's hilarious to me.
He's injured.
Because he's injured. As I said, I want to say Dylan Gabriel's still injured, so he might not be playing. Which I actually do think if Dylan Gabriel's given an opportunity, he's not a bad quarterback. He could probably win that job. And then the question becomes, since Shador was supposed to be a first-round pick, so they say, how did they not give him a better opportunity than they give Dylan Gabriel?
They drafted Gabriel ahead of him.
But
say
it's
whatever
just,
you want.
That's just odd. I don't know.
Doesn't matter. They got Flacco. They're good.
Yeah. I feel like we spent too much time on the Cleveland quarterbacks. They're all going to suck. We can move on.
Guarantee they're going to get last place in their division. I guess maybe they could push it with the Steelers. We'll see how that team pans out. But yeah, we can just move on. They're not making the playoffs. The running back situation is dismal. Good luck, Browns fans. I'm sorry. Godspeed to y'all.
Well, Shador is dealing with an injury, but he's not the only one dealing with an injury. There's Matthew Stafford. He's the Rams quarterback. He's still recovering from a back issue. Being an Eagles fan, Landon Dickerson went down. Luckily for us, it's only a minor meniscus tear, so he should be ready by week 1. You talked about Anthony Richardson, your favorite quarterback from what I hear, dislocated his pinky finger. So you know what that feels like there, Steve. That's always good. Let's see. Curtis Samuel, I think he's with the Bills now, wide receiver, as well as Justin Jefferson, both dealing with hamstring issues. I think the biggest one for me is Rashawn Slater, who's the Chargers left tackle. Tore his patellar tendon. So he is out for the season. So there goes that blind side.
He just signed a huge contract.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, there were a couple other ones that are kind of significant. Alexander Madison, he was actually having a really good camp. And he was going to be the backup in Miami, but he had season-ending neck surgery. And then another big one would be Tajay Spears. That's like a really big one for fantasy for sure. And then there's like so many other dude. It's a war zone out there. There's a lot of injuries right now.
So when you're trying to plan for your strategy when it comes to fantasy, do you look at these injuries, especially on the offensive line?
They definitely come into consideration.
But it doesn't alter you at all?
Yeah, I mean, it might discount a guy like a round or two, or I just might stay away, especially if it's a soft tissue injury, with the exception of Justin Jefferson right now. I know he's dealing with a hamstring injury, but I mean, that dude's still amazing. So, well, yeah, no, I'd still he might just drop like a couple spots, but other people kind of like Brandon Ayuk, I don't even want to touch him right now. They're saying he might not even be back this year, sadly, because of how bad his injury was last year.
Ricky Pearsall's looking attractive. Him and George Kittle are looking attractive right now.
Yes, but unfortunately, he's on the 49ers, so he's dealing with an injury as well.
Is he really? I literally just looked at this the other day. I didn't know that he had an injury.
Yeah. Well, at least he didn't get shot this time.
Oh
wow.
Too soon?
Yeah.
Another Gator.
Another really, really significant injury, because it helps out my dude, Travion Henderson. Ramondre Stevenson is hurt right now, too. So that shoots my boy Travion Henderson up the board, and that makes my first-round rookie dynasty pick look even more attractive.
You sound happy about that.
Oh, I was he had a good debut, you know. When you take it 100 yards to the house on your first touch, it makes you feel pretty good about it.
Ginger, man, like, I just hung out with this turd last weekend, and I feel like all I heard was, Travion! Woo! Like, I mean, it was like, oh, every time the ESPN replay came on TV, we're just like doing stuff. He's like, oh, here he goes. There's my boy. I'm like, okay, it's preseason, dude.
You would think he was an Ohio State fan with celebrating for Travion.
You think so?
Once they go to the NFL, it's all about the shield. Protect the shield.
Did you guys see that James Cook signed a 4-year extension?
We did.
Hefty.
What do we think about the Bills this year?
My biggest question mark for them is going to be two, one on each side of the ball. Obviously, Josh needs to stay healthy. That's number one. I mean, that goes without saying. Number two, I'm still not sure about their wide receiver situation. We'll see. I think I do really like Elijah Moore, and I think he's finally going to get a chance to actually play with a good quarterback, because he did really good his rookie season. And then we'll see if Coleman, really makes that second-year leap. And their tight ends are good. We'll see how they mix it up in there. Cook is good. I really like Ray Davis. I think even if Cook wasn't there, Ray Davis would be a really solid backfield decision. I mean, he popped hard when he played last year. And then defense, staying healthy. I mean, that team for some reason has like the measles every year. They just like get terrible injuries on their defense, and then they can't stay healthy in the playoffs. It's like the Lions last year.
Yeah, that's always a big thing for anybody who wants to win the Super Bowl, is just health, which is just a luck. It's sort of a luck thing, but I mean, it's also certain teams you just see that there's just plagued with injuries. Look at the 49ers. I feel like it's every other year they're like half of their team is just destroyed with injuries, and other teams are just better at managing it.
Just because of the fact I'm over the Chiefs, like I'd like to see them make a long run, if not make it to the Super Bowl. But then I would hope they lose to the Eagles. That's just me.
You just want to beat them again.
Absolutely. Yeah, why wouldn't I? All right, guys, let's move on to your disc golf minute that everybody seems so excited about, especially that feedback that told us we should get rid of it. But yeah, I saw like 2 or 3 of those. Who wants to do it this time around?
Mensch.
That'd be me, Steve Reilly. I will start it. When are we starting the clock? Am I going like whenever I start?
Yeah, whenever you start.
The tournament before Worlds was the European Open. That's a major for disc golf. There are 4 majors. This one was a lot of big names in the running. It came down to it. It actually came down, the defending world champion, Isaac Robinson, actually got an ace on hole 18 on his second round, which was really cool to see. It was like a 500-foot shot in a stadium-like situation, because this tournament was held in Estonia. Anyway, it came down to Gannon Burr and
the UF native. He went to university.
I know. I'm trying to fit it in 45 seconds.
Calvin Heimberg.
Calvin Heimberg. Came down to Calvin Heimberg and Gannon Burr. Calvin Heimberg sinks like a 45-footer on 18 to win it. All right, done.
Nailed it. That's going to sound so good.
It's tough trying to fit it all like in like within a minute. Like I'm like trying to remember all these facts because
I think we should give Ginger a baseball 1 minute and see how he likes it.
We can do that next week.
Yeah.
Dude, I have so much I need to talk about. I don't think you guys
in
understand.
1 minute. Yeah, I might give you 2 minutes because baseball's a little bit bigger.
But that's the thing. It's so hard to kind of like, you have all these things that you want to fit in that time, and you're like, whatever, just get the main facts.
I'll just talk about the Phillies for 2.5 minutes.
That's the problem. You won't talk about anyone else.
All right, so let's move on. We'll go to college football now. So the AP rankings came out this week. And I don't know if you know, but only 2 teams since 2000. Well, it said 2 teams, but I looked it up. It's actually 4 teams since 2000 have won the national championship when they were pre-ranked outside the AP top 7. With that said, I'll give you the AP top 7. So right now, number 1 is going to be Texas. Penn State goes at number 2. Ohio State at 3. Clemson at 4. Georgia at 5. Notre Dame at 6, Oregon at 7, Alabama's at 8, LSU's at 9, and Miami's at 10. Do you guys see anybody winning outside of that top 7?
Well, you can take Miami off. That's a easy no-go.
Did they lose the first game?
Who do they play?
It's a great question. I know it's somebody big, but I just don't remember who it is.
So, yeah.
I think this question made a lot more sense back when it was the BCS or even the original college football. And obviously before there was really any sort of computer generated rankings, because you could easily get some surprises in there. And now I don't know, with the talent being kind of top down heavy with bigger pockets, it's going to be a lot harder. The best coaches are going to go there. They're going to pull the best players. It's going to be, I do like that teams 1 through 12 have a shot now, but I don't know. It's going to be hard for me to say that one of those 8 isn't who walks away victorious.
It's really hard to kind of figure that out. By the way, Miami's playing Notre Dame week 1.
Oh, right off the bat.
Off the bat. I want to say they play, what didn't they play Florida? Week 2? Week 3, something like that. I just had it up. You think I would have actually looked at?
Didn't know that.
They play Florida week 4. So they got so Miami starts. They go Notre Dame, then Bethune-Cookman. Nobody cares about that. South Florida. Nobody cares about that. Then they go Florida and Florida State back to back.
Oh, back to back.
Yikes! Yeah. Yikes!
So they will be 4-1 after they lose to Notre Dame.
You think they lose to Notre Dame?
Yeah, I think they will. And where's the game at? Is it in Miami or is it at South Bend?
It is at Hard Rock Stadium, if you want to call that.
Oh, Miami.
So it's so it's actually a little bit.
Well, it's Miami, so they'll show up late, and Notre Dame travel, so it's neutral.
That's awesome. Yeah, I don't know. Really, to answer your question, I mean, I don't know. The landscape in college football is just totally different than it used to be. I feel like every year you're going to be getting a completely new program and team. And like, so maybe some people may fall under the radar. Like, was UNC in there? I mean, Belichick's got a team now, right? I mean, you could maybe argue somehow he puts together some incredible team that kind of flies under the radar since he's notorious for drafting first round picks that was with like 7th round grades and trying to do these things. So
I don't see. What do they have? 40 some transfers that are coming into North Carolina. I don't see them doing that well.
That's a lot, yeah.
Plus, he's such a stickler for perfection. I just can't see 18-year-olds, 19-year-olds being perfect as they go through that. So I mean, they're gonna have a hard schedule. They're gonna have to play Clemson. They're gonna probably have to play. Well, I don't know if Florida State's necessarily hard anymore.
Well, this last year, no, for sure.
I might as well. I'm just gonna pick Texas now. Screw it. Arch Manning brings it back. He's got the Manning name. Go. Texas has got it. Why not?
That's the only reason. Arch Manning. He has a Manning name.
That's it. I mean, I know it's not going to be Florida. Sorry about it.
I mean,
I would love for it to be Florida, but it's not.
How many Mannings have won a national title in college?
0. He's going to be the first.
Well, hey, got to start somewhere, right?
That would give him one up on his grandfather and his uncles.
Yeah, I think they care more about their Super Bowls they won, except for his grandfather. Sorry about it.
So do you have, well, if you have Texas winning, do you have Arch Manning winning the Heisman?
I believe so. Yep. Let's just call it now. Yeah, since that'll be the next thing we talk about. That's what we call a segue in the mainstream media.
In the mainstream media. Yeah, it is a segue. Heisman talk. Who do we got? Obviously, Steve here has Arch Manning. What does Baller McTits have?
I really would need to look at the top guys again. Admittedly, I haven't really done that too much. I mean, obviously everyone knows who Arch Manning is, unless you're like been living under a rock or something. I still kind of focused on NFL offseason, and then like I start getting into college football like basically when it starts. So I haven't really been following it that closely. So admittedly, I don't have a great pick.
Well, good thing Mr. Ginger over there might have a list available for you, and he can give you some names.
Sure he does.
Interestingly enough, I looked at it before this, and I think there, how many names? Like 15 on there? Only 3 of them are non-quarterbacks. There's 2 wide receivers and a running back, and everybody else are quarterbacks. Yeah. So I will say a quarterback wins the Heisman. Nailed it.
I could have done that one.
I decided that I wanted to change this up a little bit, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to name some names, and I'm going to have Kevin tell me where they go to school.
Oh, okay.
That's good, because I had no fucking clue until I read that.
There are 20 on the list, but let's see how we do with the first 10. We'll see if we.
I'm not going to do well at this. But go ahead.
All right, so this should be an easy one. Arch Manning. He is the favorite at plus 600.
Yeah, Texas.
All right.
Hold on, real quick. I'll join in too, which will show you how little I know of this, because I already looked at the list, and I'm probably still going to get it wrong.
All right, let's move to number 2. Garrett Nussmeier, plus 900.
Is that Penn State? Or no. That's LSU. That's LSU.
Quarterback at LSU.
I do know that. Yeah, okay.
Cade Klubnik, plus 900.
Oh. I know the name. I cannot recall the school. So, Mensch, what do you got?
You're making my memory look stupid now, because I cannot remember.
I know the name. Is it like Indiana or something like that?
He's the quarterback for Clemson.
Oh, okay.
Jeremiah Smith, plus 1,000.
Oh, I know that one. That's Ohio State.
You got the wide receiver? Yeah, but you couldn't get the quarterback.
Crazy. That's because that guy is going to be a top 5 pick when he comes out, and I'm going to hope to get him in Fantasy Dynasty.
Pretty sure those top 3 names are all going to be top picks.
I don't care. I know that guy.
Kev's already got his research for the wide receiver he wants in Fantasy next year, because that's the only thing he cares about.
All right, Lenore Sellers.
I have no idea.
Is it A&M?
No, it's a South Carolina quarterback.
Kind of close colors-wise, I guess. Kind of.
We talked about this guy last week, but Drew Aller.
That's the Penn State guy.
That is the Penn State. He's plus 1,800.
I was going to say a Division III school, but I guess I'm not too far off.
When's the last time you were in the playoffs? Or
Shut up, Steve. Move on.
Julian Sayin, plus 1,800.
Sayin, like Kamehameha? No way. That's his last name.
Sayin.
I mean, if Ginger's pronouncing it correctly.
That's it, Sayin.
If he's saying it correctly. I don't know. I can't even muster a guess.
We bring the comedy on the show. We bring the laughs. And no, I do not No, I totally forgot that too.
He's the guy throwing the ball to Jeremiah Smith.
No, Will Howard was there last year. I know that, and he's already hurt too.
Julian Sane is supposed to be the guy. They actually haven't named him starting quarterback yet, which is interesting. But he's Ohio State's quarterback. This should be an easy one, layup for you guys. DJ Lagaway.
Never heard of him.
All I know is UF. There was a lot of banter about whether he was going to even come back this year because they thought he was going to get poached after he started playing pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, that's awesome that he's in there, but I mean, I don't really have too high of expectations. But yeah, it's cool. He's up there. That doesn't happen often.
It is a little shocking that he's tied with Drew Aller, and Aller's been quarterback there for a while, but plus 1,800. Then you got Gunnar Stockton plus 2,000.
Ole Miss?
Nope.
Notre Dame?
Nope.
Just seemed like a Notre Dame name.
Quarterback for Georgia. It does seem like a Georgia name. Gunnar.
Or Albany.
You're definitely not getting the next one. Sam Levitt. And I'll even let you know it's in the Big 12.
Oklahoma.
They're not in the Big 12.
Yeah, that's
stuck in the past.
Texas Tech.
It's Arizona State.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no. Again, this is bad. This just shows you. I only care about them when this is the only reason I even watch college football is for when they come to the NFL. So, like, if you're not going to be getting drafted, then or there's not even a remote chance, then I usually don't pay too much attention.
I mean, at least you didn't look at the list beforehand like I did. This is just embarrassing for me.
This helps us lose all credibility and people believing that we might know what we're talking about.
Yeah, listen, I told you, my knowledge is just highly opinionated. It's very little knowledge, and I made that clear. I really learned the college players, though, once it comes to the actual NFL draft process. I mean, we talked about going to the draft. Like, I love the draft. And it's funny, before the draft really even blew up, I loved the draft. And so it's been something I like, and it's as a result of me getting to know the best college players. But the thing is, again, it changes because these players used to stay there for 3 years. They didn't move around, and so that's the part I don't like. It's just confusing. I don't know where anyone is anymore. I mean, Arch Manning, obviously, we knew that one, and some of those players I knew, but the transfer portal thing is just outrageous.
Yeah, it's like free agency now for NFL. I mean, it's crazy the amount of money too that they're spending on that. But all right. We'll go on to the last thing we'll do for this episode itself. We'll do another one of our drafts. I mean, we did talk about the doing the bad quarterbacks from Cleveland, but let's do best college football helmets. Let's do that. And we'll go in order. We'll do Steve first, Baller McTit second, and myself third.
B McT. You got me leading off.
Yeah. Let's do a caveat. Like, you can't put the helmet in of the team that you are a fan of. So for me, I can't do Penn State. For Steve, you can't do Florida. Right. And for Kevin, you can't do Florida State. Okay.
So not many people would pick a pure semen colored helmet as their top one anyway. So Penn State's a pretty obvious no for just about most people.
Hey, there's a big blue stripe that goes down the center.
Listen, dude, I don't know what you guys do at Penn State.
Do you know here's trivia for you. Do you know what the original colors of Penn State were?
No. Why would anyone know that?
Well, I know that, and they're pink and black.
Because they went there.
Pink and black?
Pink and black were the original colors of Pennsylvania State University. And then they changed.
If you guys were pink and black, I would be picking you first overall, but you're not. So sorry about it.
And they were just black helmets with a pink stripe that went down the middle.
Interesting. When did that switch happen? I know we're supposed to be doing the draft, but I'm curious now.
They were only that way for about 10 to 15 years when they initially started it. It's back in the 1800s.
Kind of like the old Citronauts.
Exactly. Yes. UCF. Shout out there.
All right. Well, if I'm kicking it off, I mean, it'd actually be really fun to go controversial right away. Just throw a goon out there right away just to piss you guys off. But I think I'm going to go with the most classic of them all. And I think a lot of people do agree with this. And I'm going to say Notre Dame first overall because it's very classic and it's gold. And I mean, how do you not like it? It looks pretty fucking cool.
Just because they use gold?
Hell yeah, bro.
It's iconic.
Dude, Frank from It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia wanted his chair to look like it was dipped in gold for a reason because he was probably trying to emulate the Notre Dame football helmet.
All right.
No, if you didn't pick that, I was going to pick it. So, like, kind of pretty good pick, I think. Arguably a great pick because most people that know football, and it goes back to just knowing Rudy, which we talked about last week. But again, it's just
if the only thing you know about college football is Rudy, then you don't really know college football.
No, I meant just a lot of people are familiar with the movie, right? Because it's an inspirational movie, and so, like, you can almost thank the movie for making Notre Dame so popular. I mean, not just
That's
they were already very popular as it was, but so anyways, I would have to say just because I think they do a really cool job, and it's always, like, something different and unique, and it's never I don't know, I just like the
No.
customization stuff. I'd go with Oregon, and they get a lot of Nike stuff, but they're always just they look so good, man. They do such a great job. I know it's some people want an answer that's gonna be like, "Oh, but it should be consistent." I mean, the O's always there, and their uniforms are fly. I mean, they always look good, so I'm gonna go with them.
I actually prefer their winged helmet over the O helmet, but yeah, I get what you're saying. Like Oregon does have really good helmets. For my pick, I'm going to go with a classic, which I think is should have been number one overall, and Kevin can't pick it, so I guess I will pick it. But when they have that spear on the side, I mean, especially when they're like when I don't even know his name, but when he's riding out on the horse and he puts the spear in the ground, they actually come out. Uh,
Yeah, he's riding Biscuit.
well, he's riding Biscuit. What's the guy's name that's riding it? Do we know? Isn't the horse actually named Biscuit?
No!
No, he's called Renegade,
Renegade.
I think it
Is it?
is. Yeah, but
Yeah.
I was telling so I played lacrosse for University of Florida, and we got to play Florida State in their football stadium for one of our games. And I was telling Kevin, I was like, "Yeah, the horse was. They were doing the whole thing with the horse running out, and he was throwing the spear in the ground, practicing before the game." He's like, "Come on, Biscuit, come on, let's go." Kev's like, "That's not the horse's." I knew it would get to him, so I did it. Anyway.
Well, with my first round pick, I'm going Florida State. Just
Oh,
put it
yeah.
officially.
But what is what is the guy's name on the horse, Kev?
Dude, I gotta look it up, and I feel like a bad fan to not know that, actually.
I think it would be Weeps after Miami game.
I feel like a tart.
Wide,
Run-
wide left.
Run from
Oh.
run from losses.
Yeah. Look it up. Like, I forgot. I'm gonna know it. I'm gonna be so annoyed, but I like just it's flaking my mind right now.
I believe it's Osceola.
Yeah, Chief Osceola. Okay, that would make more sense.
Yeah, sponsored by Hard Rock Casino.
Get out of here, man.
All right, on the comeback around, I mean, it's hard for me to choose Big Ten teams, but I gotta do it. I do love Michigan's helmets. I think they're very classic in the style they have. And then like the maize and blue is kind of iconic, so I'll go Michigan.
Yeah, that's a solid.
Yeah.
Everyone recognizes it.
Baller McTits, your choice.
Let's see. I don't know. I mean, it's kind of like you could go like USC is probably a pretty good one. I've always liked their helmets. I think they're cool helmets. Like, I don't know. I mean, not really a big fan of USC. I always like Reggie Bush, but I did always like the helmet, and you always knew that was USC too. You know, that kind of red and gold or whatever that was yellow or that was in there. But I thought it was a pretty cool symbol. And the Trojans. What are you doing?
I'm getting ready to stir the pot because here comes my goon pick. Here comes the goon pick. Yeah, I can't wait. All right, the next pick will be the TCU Horned Frogs, just because they got the Horned Frogs on there.
Oh,
I love it.
mind that pick.
And then after that, we're gonna go with the Tulane Green Wave, baby, because I love the wave, the way he looked on that helmet.
I was not expecting to hear
Stir the pot.
Tulane come out,
Stir in the pot.
or a horn frog, whatever they do with their little like symbol they do with their hand. That's crazy.
That's why I'm the wild. That's why I'm the wild card.
Yes, so that's the wild card. All right.
More like a lot lizard.
Wow.
Those are sunny. It's always sunny references that only like 10 people are gonna get.
I'd be, with the final pick I get, it's not a team I would pick, and I know a lot of people would pick it though, just because of like reigning national champs. But I just can't get over. It's like arguably one of the worst mascots out there, and that would be a good one to do too. But like, it's a nut. It's like a poisonous nut. I mean, the Buckeyes. I just no. Anyways, I know a lot of people would probably throw that one up there. I just wanted to put it up there to just slap it back down because not my.
You just wanted to state it so you can make fun of it.
Exactly. And with that said, I would probably just go with something not controversial at all and pick Texas.
It's just the wow, that went all over the place for me there. It's an emotional roller coaster.
Wow. Oh man. Sorry, I just woke up from my nap. That's how,
I don't know.
how boring that
Actually,
pick
you know
was.
what? I'm going to go with UCF instead. We're going to go wild card here because they also trying to run the same model as Oregon does, and they're kind of like, let's go with them. They got the.
Did you just make 3 picks?
Yeah, did a lot of.
No,
I did it. I
his,
don't care.
His last pick was so bad, I'll allow it. I don't want that one on the board, so we'll allow UCF.
What is happening right now? This is falling off the rails.
Listen, I allowed it. Just move forward. We're moving forward,
right.
and then you make the final pick of the draft. No horned toads.
All right, so then I'll go with the most classic one. I think it's obviously the most classic one, which is Alabama.
Yeah.
No, the numbers on the side of the helmet, that's you're out here picking 3 helmets.
Yeah.
You're gonna tell me Alabama's not classic?
You know what? I'll give it to you just because it's the helmet Forrest Gump wore, and that's what I've modeled my life after is Forrest Gump. So you know what? I will allow it.
Well, you are running like him nowadays, so I guess that makes sense.
I just felt like running. Oh, you know what? Since that's the end of the draft, and Steve did just bring that up, it will be official. We have a team that will be joining the Fort Lauderdale Marathon that in February, February 15th, 2026, there will be a half marathon and marathon in Fort Lauderdale. And Steve Ginger Rukstalis is going to be running as part of my team in that he will be running the half marathon. Everybody hold him accountable to that. He has to run it now that I just mentioned it. I will be there. I will be doing it. And then our other member would be Jason Tape. He will also be running the half marathon. Everybody who knows them, make them sure they are held accountable and run that half marathon.
You don't want to give them the team name you selected?
We will be Team Gingerly Galloping.
Which is an awesome team name. Yeah, I do not look forward to that at all. When they said, hey, it's in February, in my own mind, I was like, oh, yeah, I got a lot of time for that. And then later I looked and it was 6 months. I was like, shit, I don't have enough time.
Good.
It's going to be a struggle. That's for sure.
He's got it.
Yeah, that's you'll be fine if you start actually doing it. I don't know. The hardest part for me with running long distances is it just kills my knees and my shins. I don't know how it doesn't bother Steve because he has done a couple marathons now. But man, I ran 10K earlier this year, and by the end it just felt like my legs were they just felt just so painful. And I wasn't even tired. I could kept going, but my body was like, nah, bro, why are you doing this?
You keep selling me on this. This is making me feel so good.
And so I don't know, just have fun.
All right. Well, listen, it's fine until you hit mile 24, but you're not even have to worry about that. You're be done at 13. So that's only halfway through for me. Then you'll be drinking a beer cheering me on to finish my marathon. At that point, you'll be recovered by then.
I bet you that you'd be able to finish a marathon before I get a half done.
I don't think so. If I did, then I'd probably qualify for Boston because that'd be amazing, but I doubt it. I'm right in the 4-hour mark right now. If I get under 4, that would be my goal. I would love to get under 4 hours. That'd be great.
Yeah, that's my goal for half.
Well, anybody who knows, clearly we're going to go into another sport that actually huge now, but a lot less people would probably know about it. The Boston qualifying time for my age group is, I think, 3 hours and 5 minutes, which means I would have to average a 7-minute mile for 26 miles. That ain't going to happen, but I do have my own goal, and hopefully I can get under 4. That would be amazing. My first one was 4:03. If I could get under 4, that'd be great. But just finishing it still is just an awesome feeling, and I can't wait to do it again. And now I got some buddies who are going to do it with me. Well, half of it. But that's a huge jump for you guys. So I hope you do it. And I'll be cheering you guys on too. That'd be great.
With that said, I need to go work out. All right, guys. Thanks for joining us for episode number 2. Anything you want to say to the people before we leave?
Thanks for bearing with us. I wasn't able to prepare that much as I'd like to today for this with work and my internet being out when I did get home. And so we're still working out a lot of kinks. We're having a great time doing this. And this is a lot of fun. I know we talked so much about doing this, and it's fun to actually finally be doing it. And I want to thank my wife for letting me do it too, because obviously the kids get a little chaotic right around this time of night before I'm able to sit down and do it. But anyways, thank you so much for listening. Hope we can really start bringing some good content for you guys. And I hope it's been, kind of enjoyable up to this point already.
Steve, you got anything?
Well, let's see if we can end something. I can give you a nice little nugget. I did trivia last night at Devaney's, and I learned some crazy facts. None of those are coming off my. Clearly, I showed that memory's not good. We'll just go with this. Did you know that Tahoe is west of Los Angeles? There you go. There's your fun fact for the day. Chew on that one.
Way to end this one. All right, guys.
Thank you, Snapple.
We appreciate everybody joining. We always enjoy feedback, so if you guys want to give us feedback, we're willing to take that, and we'll see you all next time.